If you're gonna die, make sure you choose to live and don't do the bad thing. Get yourself on the right path. Guys, I got a question for you. Do you want to die or do you want to live? I think you should choose to live. This is the episode Choose to Live. Star Trek Discovery, Season 4, Episode Triple. Of course, I'm getting it a day late. It's a crying shame, but from now on, it seems like Star Trek episodes are going to be coming to my neck of the space a day late. This is going to be a nightmare for content creators and reviewers because they're going to have to be fighting against the algorithm uphill. It's going to be an uphill battle, guys. If you're a day late with your review, you're finished. That's just the way the algorithm works. That's the way the cookie crumbles. But, as it stands right now, episodes for me are coming exactly a day late. So, normally, they would be coming Thursday night. Now they are coming Friday night. So what does that mean? It means I have to get on it and try to review at night when I'm possibly tired and ready to end my dang old shift, and then spend hours editing the video, hours uploading, to be over a day late. So we're really looking at a day and a half, 2 days possibly late. It's not fair. But life isn't fair. Currently, I have to watch an episode. I sometimes will watch it twice, maybe 3 times. I have to let it marinate in my mind for a good hour. I will review it and then edit the video. This takes 4 to 5 hours. And then it takes another about 5 to upload from our subspace uplink, which is on the fritz at the best of times. So forgive me if we're from now on late. It's not my fault. Talk to CBS or Paramount or whoever. Without further ado, let's get down into this episode. This episode, I was pleased to see a Starfleet ship on screen, a new Starfleet ship finally. I was saying, yes, do my eyes deceive me, or is this a Starfleet ship on screen? Coming into view. It was, but guess what? It was hideous. I don't think I'm alone in thinking that the future 31st century Starfleet ships are largely hideous. I don't think I'm alone in that. And this one was no exception. It just looked like a complete mess. You'd think that ships would get less complicated looking over time. That was my idea. In my mind, you go beyond the universe class. You start to get into ship designs that are monohull, so that's all one shape. Maybe less, no pylons per se for a nacelle. Catch my drift. Instead, what we have is spaghetti. These ships look like spaghetti. Mamma mia. This ship that we see at the beginning of this episode is actually being attacked by Kuat Malat ninjas. Warrior Nun ninjas, boys. That you may remember from Star Trek Picard. This episode was called Choose to Live, and we're dealing with Kuat Malat, warrior nuns. So there's 2 more reasons I have to hate this episode, because it's just dragging me back to Picard. Just when I thought I was out, they're dragging me right back in, kicking and screaming. The episode wasn't that bad, though. Our Starfleet ship is trying to bring much-needed dilithium to a universe still suffering the aftershock of the burn, wherein all of our dilithium blew up, and I guess crippling faster than light travel, even though many FTL technologies do not necessarily require dilithium. We're going to forget about that. Our ship is attacked by the Kuat-Malat, who are trying to steal our dilithium. They don't want to wait their turn. They want the dilithium now. So they kill a Starfleet officer. What the crap? We're 5 minutes in when we already killed a Starfleet officer? Cool. Welcome to Discovery, guys. Not gonna lie, it was a little bit thrilling. I did like the fight. Very kinetic feeling. Bang bang, bing bing, boo boo. They took the dilithium. So what are we gonna do? Michael, her mother, who was in the Kuat-Malat, by the way, Admiral Vance, our representative from Navarre, president of the Federation, are having a joint discussion on what to do. The perpetrator is Navarre Ian, or Navarran, Vulcan. Perhaps Romulan, because they're Kuat-Malat. And they killed a Starfleet officer. So what are we going to do? I mean, is it the problem of the Kuat-Malat? Is it the problem of Navarre? Is a Starfleet in the Federation's problem? They killed a Starfleet officer, so I would have just pinned her to the wall in 1 second and said, you better make this right now, or I'm going to blow you out an airlock. That's not what happened. Cooler heads prevailed, and we ended up creating a joint mission to capture the perpetrator, who is revealed later to have an emotional connection with Gabrielle, which is Michael Burnham's mother, who was in Kuat-Malat. These ninjas. Why don't you warp on back to Memory Alpha if you want to find out what the Kuat-Malat is? I'm not going to explain it here. Kuat-Malat are essentially warrior nuns who go on a mission, and they have to complete that mission, and they say choose to live. Okay, they're going to kill you, and they say please choose to live. Yada yada yada. So, and for some reason, it is now standard to take book ship on official Starfleet business. Guys, I don't know what's going on here. We still got book ship in the shuttle bay. I don't know why we are taking this on this very critical mission to apprehend this Kuat-Malat killer. Why are we taking book ship? Like, what? Why are we allowed to do this? It seems. And book ship cloaks, is that okay, guys? I mean, back in my day, we had treaties against this stuff. Cloaking, it scares people, and with good reason. I don't know why we take book ship again, but we take book ship to this signal. I guess they had tracking beacons on this dilithium. Yay for espionage tactics. And we ended up on this essentially like a desolate looking moon / asteroid. And they're going Tilly, Michael, Gabrielle, and one more Kuat-Malat warrior. Basically on this mission on book ship. We find that there's dilithium boop, 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 underneath, inside it. And we get down to this, what is admittedly a cool set. They beam down there. A large cavernous space, not unlike the egg room from Alien on the Derelict, if you've seen that show. God forbid we ever run into a derelict ship or a juggernaut. I don't know what the poor little Dingwall is going to do, but hopefully we can deal. So get to this room, this cavernous space. They discover many cocoons of what appear to be dead or at least hibernating life forms. I believe are referred to as Abronians. They look very cool. Kind of got a Species 8472 vibe. Anyway, their bodies are rich in latinum, which is going to attract the grave robbers. And wouldn't you know it, our Quat Malat friend who we're chasing, her cause was to protect these aliens and see to it that their graves are not robbed. What is the twist? They needed the dilithium to run the ship components of this asteroid. This asteroid is actually one gigantic starship. Pretty cool idea. There's some kind of interesting sci-fi concepts in this episode. I'll give it that. Javi, I believe that's her name, the Quat Malat we've been chasing, wants to activate this ship and take it out of harm's way because they were afraid of the anomaly. Remember the gravity anomaly? Sending out hyper dangerous gravity waves through space, destroying everything in its wake. So of course you'd want to have the dilithium on the ship, right? That's why she stole it. And she couldn't afford to ask Starfleet on behalf of the Abronians, because if she did, that would reveal their location, and then grave robbers might find them. A noble goal, but she did kill one of my people, which is a big no-no. Michael basically manages to convince her that, look, we're going to fix their ship, we're going to wake up these aliens, they're going to do what they want, your mission would have been a success, they're alive, we get to leave. Problem solved, right? Good. We solved their problems largely without a lot of fighting. Tilly did her bit, Michael did her bit, and so did Gabrielle. Tilly fixed the dilithium, the warp core of this starship, essentially. Michael fixed the hibernation system, and Gabrielle dealt with the Quat Malat nun. Quat Malat nun is still a murderer. That will be elaborated upon later. However, this being our A-plot, it's resolved very early in the episode. I looked at the time left, and I was like, what the heck's going to happen for the rest of this episode? Well, guess what? We got kind of a B and kind of a C plot. Our B plot elaborates on the conflict between Stamets and Book. Last episode, we saw them fighting. Now they're trying to make up. In the spirit of Star Trek, why can't we be friends? Why can't we be friends? Why can't Stamets and Book be friends? They're both going to Navarre to explain to the Navarrans about Stamets' theories. Stamets has a theory that the gravitational anomaly is a primordial wormhole, essentially a baby wormhole. But he needs to prove to the Navarrans that there's tachyons present. Okay. Essentially, in the logic of this episode, tachyon particles have to be present at the birth of a wormhole. Okay. All of his theories so far are operating on the idea that there is tachyons, except that he cannot find them. So tachyons are the missing puzzle piece that completes his jigsaw puzzle of a theory as to what this is. Okay. We need to explain to the Navarrans that they have tachyons. Book is the only one who has seen the anomaly, so we do a mind meld with Book to see if we can find tachyon and the evidence of tachyon in the form of Cherenkov radiation. Okay. Unfortunately, Book's mind meld reveals that there were no tachyons. However, the knock-on effect of this mind meld is that Book has now found closure with the tragedy in his recent past, the loss of his planet, and the loss of his family. He has now realized that although he cannot alter the memory, he can see it in a new angle and direction and in a new light. He sees that his brother's son, I believe, did look back at Book and did connect emotionally. Okay, emotion is very important for people on Kwai-Jan. They're somewhat telepathic. They did emotionally connect. They did get to say goodbye in a way. So Book has found peace. Isn't that wonderful? We destroyed a planet, but Book has somehow found peace with that. A little strange, but Book's arc in terms of him coming to terms with the loss of his planet, his little mini arc seems to be solved, but we'll see how that plays out later. Stamets, unfortunately, gets blasted out into space, basically, because he could not prove his theories about the wormhole yet. We'll see what happens. And our C-plot is, of course, Gray and Adira. Something that's been brewing in the background for 3 episodes now. We know that essentially we want to create a Soong-type android body to accept Gray's slug Trill symbiote into the body of the synth, okay? Is this possible? I'll put it in terms for people who have not seen Discovery or Picard. Imagine if we took Data, a Soong-type android, wiped his mind, essentially removed his brain, his positronic brain, and imagine if we took that body and we joined a Trill into it. Say we took the Trill symbiont out of Jadzia's body from Deep Space Nine and put it in Data's body with his mind wiped. Could we get a joining? Is that possible? I would have said no. However, this episode proves otherwise. Adira, for the last 3 episodes, has had a mysterious ghost figure appearing beside her that no one else could see. This was Gray, her previous boyfriend, I think. Something like that. Adira is a Trill host, unwittingly. And they want to take the Trill symbiote out of her, put it into this new body that Culber has been designing, and hopefully have the joining work, overseen, of course, by some type of associate of the Trill. They call him Guardian Z. We don't think it works, though, at first. And Adira's all sad. But Culber's there to give her a little pat on the back and say, listen, babe, shit's gonna be alright. Maybe we didn't go quite like that. But suffice it to say, Gray wakes up. He accepts this new body. We've joined a Trill into an android body. Very strange. And calls into question the veracity of everything that has gone on Trill. Can we join Trill symbiotes into inorganic bodies? Sky's the limit now, guys. So, what I'm getting at here is that in our A, our B, and our C plot, we've seen scientific fiction questions put forward in an interesting way. Nothing's groundbreaking, but nothing reawakened latent suicidal tendencies in my mind. So it's okay sci-fi. Visually ugly, except for the scenes inside the asteroid, which is the starship belonging to the Albronians, I forget what it is. Cool set design, and believable. I thought the CGI was okay. I believe that they were in this gigantic cavern. Not so bad. But the starships... So visuals, mixed bag. Plot-wise, pretty good. If we excuse all the needless violence and ninjas jumping around, hitting each other with sticks. And sound-wise, not as good as the last episode. Again, soundtrack just fades into the background. It's just kind of noise. Writing, It's full of what you'd expect. It sounds like social media circa 2021, which was a long time ago now. That was about 200 years ago. And people used to think that humans actually talk like that in real life, and they didn't. But if you spent all your life on one of these computer terminals that they did in those days, you might believe that people talked in this particular way. Guys, listen, so how do I deal with all this right now? I'm just so lost, you know? Do I sound like Tilly? That's how she sounded in this episode. I still don't get what her problem is. She's having a hard time fitting into everything. I just need to find my place in all of this. Well, don't we all, honey? I'm trying to find my place here. I don't know if it's going too good, but I'm trying to find my place, all right? In this big galaxy, okay? That's good space coffee. So, this episode, vastly superior to the previous one, called Anomaly. This one is Choose to Live, and I'm going to choose to like it, despite all the crap. If this episode was as bad as the last one, I honestly probably would have stopped watching. I don't think I could take it. I don't think I could take it if this episode was as bad as the last one. This episode, while generally speaking standard fare, is a shining jewel so far in this season. I was actually a little bit interested in what was going to happen. Unfortunately, it seems like the subplot with the aliens was solved already in this episode, which that subplot is more interesting than the gravity anomaly to me. Ancient alien cultures, mysterious goals and objectives of mysterious, shady, new species, new technology that we don't understand, adventure. Those are for those concepts are for the old days, guys. This is the new days. Forget heartfelt and earnest philosophical questions and learn to enjoy fast-paced combat craziness. So, this episode had no serious emotional core, not much of a thematic core other than this vague idea of being on the right path that they try to button up at the last second in a conversation between, I think, Michael and Gabriella. She tries to say something like, "You gotta be on the right path." Or maybe she said this to Sarah. I don't remember. Or Tilly. I guess they're interchangeable in this episode. If you're gonna die, make sure you choose to live. And don't do the bad thing. Get yourself on the right path. And this episode got itself a solid 6 out of 10. It's kind of take it or leave it, but I'm honestly wondering if you could skip the previous episode. The previous episode was so useless. I'm actually wondering if you could show it to somebody in a different order. You could show the first episode and then the third one and not show them the second one, and would they miss anything? I'm actually starting to wonder that, which is worrying for a TV show with only like 10 episodes. So guys, what did you think? Was it interesting? Was it not interesting? Was it good? Was it bad? Was this video good? Was this video bad? I'm Mark, and I'm going to see you when the next episode drops a day late for me. See you later.